I like crunchies in my desserts. Do you like smooth or crunchy desserts? What's your preference? Here's how I make mine. Cut your banana bread in half, about something like this, maybe smaller depending on what you like. But here's where you have to move very, very quickly. If you don't get your banana bread cut up into small pieces and on the dehydrator, it will disappear, just like the coconut treats. You got to watch out. I cut mine in slices, and then I'll cut them up into smaller pieces. You can also taste test a couple just to make sure it tastes okay. So I cut them up into pieces maybe the size of a penny, dime, nickel, something like that. It doesn't really matter if they're too small. You don't want it to be all crumbs. I like the big crunchies. I just spread them out like this. This amount will be enough for probably 3 pudding desserts. 2 at least, probably 3. And so I'll put this on the dehydrator at a low temperature and dry them out. When I'm dehydrating something that takes a long time, I often put it in a different room away from the kitchen so it's not in the way. But this will be done by tonight, 4, 5, 6 hours at the most, just drying out some bread basically. Now this recipe does have some pineapple in it, so I want to make sure that that pineapple is fully dry, which requires some destructive taste testing. Not really a problem, I've got a little bit extra in there. Bread is kind of a nut or a seed kind of thing, so I'm going to set the dehydrator at 105, plug it in, and I'll be back in a couple hours to see how it's doing. And of course I will have to taste it to make sure it's drying properly. The breadcrumbs came off the dehydrator after about 5 hours, and so I broke it up into thirds, put them each into their own freezer bag. There are some crumbs in there, but that's okay. You don't have to have big crunchies. Small crunchies are good too. I then took the instant pudding boxes, emptied them into their own freezer bag. I don't mix them together because in the field, we'll add water to this, and I don't want the crunchies to become soggy. The crunchies get added at the last second. So this isn't the whole recipe. What about the milk? Each of these requires 2 cups of milk. So this is my solution. Each of these packets makes a quart of milk, which is 4 cups. Each of the recipes requires 2 cups. So half a packet of this will get added into each of these. And I'll do that. That takes 2 hands, so I'll do that and I'll be back in a second. Each packet of this dry milk makes 1 quart. That means that half of this packet is half a quart, which is 2 cups. So I took half a cup and added it to the vanilla, lemon, and most obviously the chocolate pudding bag. So I've got a bag now of the crunchies, the dried banana bread, and the milk. Notice too that I practice 1 piece trash even at home the best I can. In the field, you add 2 cups of water to that and stir. I've pre-measured on my titanium cup, 1 cup, 2 cups, and almost full is 3 cups. And so on the field, I'll fill this to the 2 cup level there in the middle, right there. Pour that into the bag and stir like crazy. And it starts to set up right away. After a minute or so, I'll throw the crunchies in the bag and have a nice dessert. What do you use for desserts? Any suggestions? My instant pudding desserts are ready to go. The bag with the dried bread is the outside bag. I put the pudding powder bag and also with the dried milk in it. Inside the bag with the breadcrumbs, you can kind of see it there. Maybe it's easier with the chocolate, a little more contrast. In the field, you make the pudding inside the powder bag, add the the dried bread later, and like I mentioned before, 2 cups of water. It actually raises quite a excitement when people find out that I'm having pudding for dessert on a backpacking trip. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Maybe you've got some other suggestions too.